All right, Ashley, we're going to look at these strokes, and this year, because I've got some resources and some, my hard drive didn't crash, we're going to look at butterfly kind of split screen. So just so you know, every time, every stroke, the top screen will be current, so 217, the bottom will be a year ago, so we'll be able to compare 1 year to the next, which is always a good thing. And let's let it fly. So if you take a look at the fly, you actually stay in pretty good rhythm all the way. You're actually a little stronger. And I know flying this is probably still the weaker of your strokes with regard to all your strokes. And just slow it down a little. And then just look at one compared to the other. And just looking at it straight up, it doesn't really. I was going to kind of I'll take one, just let it go, let it roll again, and I'll take one cycle. Generally speaking, I feel like you're sitting at just a little stronger anchor position, probably because you're stronger or you're older. I know I talked to you about some of the dry land stuff and working with it, which is essential because you've got these tall, skinny body with big hands, and you're getting the strength to handle what you're working with. So I'm just going to slow this one down and looking at it individually. I think they're both sorry, my bad. So hopefully I just didn't look to see if they were both. Okay, so you took a breath on the top, so I'm going to wait. Okay, you're breathing a lot. Let's and again. Okay, had to go find a stroke. You just didn't want to kind of give me a non-breath at the same time. So this is the one where you synced up, where you don't really take a breath. So you can kind of take a look at what's going on. There's very similar in terms of pattern. I'm actually going to blow these up a little, so a little easier to see. So again, patterns fairly similar with regard to where you are. I feel like and again, it's subtle, but you're doing a better job of managing your extension. You can just take a look at your hands here. This shows me that you're stronger. So you don't kind of get that hand kind of off to the side. You don't get it into a weakened position. So if you look at the hand on the bottom, it tends to you kind of lose it a little to the side, holding it a little better. Still a little too shallow, so that's a very wide, shallow kind of anchor position. Again, it's a little deeper from where it was a year ago. It's stronger looking from where it was a year ago. These are all good things. General pattern is the same. Timing is the same. So everything for the most part. So now you're going to take a breath up here, so kind of changes things. So I'm just going to skip to where you are today, and I'll bring that back in later. So where to improve? Basically, as you get stronger, again, you want to get a deeper anchor position and be able to be in a position where you sort of get over the top of this a little more. And again, I'm going to show you the film, and I'm sure I showed you the same thing last year, and you probably get tired of seeing Ottilia Jedrzejczak, but she's really indicative of the kind of anchor position that you're looking for, and I think very attainable. So you really should be working towards something where you're grabbing that water way out in front of you and essentially vaulting your body over that position. Just again, grabbing it, vaulting it forward. This is a strength situation, but again, it's nothing that I don't think that you can handle strength wise as you get older. So something that you should be working towards. So not a whole lot else. I like your line. I like your posture. You did a pretty good job of taking a breath there. I could barely tell you were taking a breath. So again, it's just something that's kudos to you. You've really improved some things that I think that really show that you just that kind of you are the kid that you are. You're a very conscientious athlete. You're working hard on your weaknesses. So where you go from here, you got to get some more depth in this anchor position, make it stronger. You're going to need to do some sort of some tubing, surgical tubing stuff that we can strengthen that position. But I think that's really the only way to kind of make this stronger. I'm just going to look at how well you hold your anchor positions here. So we'll look at where the bubbles end up. So as your hands exit, you see you're still losing quite a bit of, and that's really just not putting yourself in a position where when out front you get into that position and you get a hold of that water and you pitch into it and vault over it. Here you got quite a bit of slide, so there's still a lot of slippage. So front end of your bubbles, where your hands are now, that's a good 12 to 14 inches, somewhere in that range. It's still too much from where you are. So to basically improve yourself going forward, I think kind of be in that position. I'm assuming you just get you back to normal, about right there, get this back to normal right there. So I know they're somewhere in that range, but get you in a position where again you're working on that anchor. So you kind of skull to impulse, or it doesn't even have to be rhythm skull. I think you're fine with that. You do a great job of that in practice that I've seen. It's just that skull to impulse, and that skull to impulse drill, really working on setting an anchor that's a little deeper, how you get your hands or your forearms into that anchor position, and how effective you are at vaulting yourself forward. That's going to really kind of take you to the next step, getting a good sense, doing it sometimes with your eyes closed if you can, in a safe environment, and kind of getting a little more strength out of this butterfly.